All right. And I believe we are live right now. Yeah, we're live. Uh, Hello everybody. I am joined by Josh for a special Halloween themed stream where we will recommend 10, that's right, 10 Hall horror films for you guys for your viewing pleasure to celebrate Halloween. And like
Let's go, dude.
yeah, I'm recommending 5 and Josh is recommending 5.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I had to tell you obviously because you had to make the slides and everything, but I'm super excited to see what yours are.
Yeah. I think mine are going to go like the order we're going to go in is I'm going to recommend a film, we'll talk about it a bit, then we'll go over one of your recommendations and then vice versa until we've gone through all of them.
Let's go. All right.
Yeah.
Wait, you said you're going first?
Yeah, that's going to be the order. Like I'll recommend a film, then we'll go over one of your recommendations and then we'll keep on doing that until the stream's over. It should go by
Sounds
pretty
good.
quick. But if anyone in the chat, nobody has joined yet, but if anyone in the chat wants to ask us about a certain horror film, feel free and we'll give our opinions. But in this, yeah, but again, this since this is a recommendation stream, we're just going to go over. We're going to give like a. We're going to try our best to not spoil anything because we want you guys to go see these films. But we'll tell you guys what we liked about them and what makes them worth seeing. So to start things off, I'm go like okay, before we begin, I gotta say like after looking over your picks, Josh, and comparing them with mine, uh, I would say I would say we have like a bit of a variety in our recommendations. Like the you can see like a bunch of them are from different time periods, different countries. Uh, there's even a comedy in here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but let's see. We have some people already here. Henry, Jeremy. Uh, those are my guys. Glad to see you guys are here. Uh, and with that being said, let's get started. So my first recommendation is Nosferatu, the classic 2022 film. A lot of people might be
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a lot of people might be familiar with this guy from that one SpongeBob episode from decades back, featuring the hack slinging slasher in the end because he makes a brief cameo. And other people might be familiar with him through Robert Eggers' 2024 film of the same name, Nosferatu, and that is a remake of the 1922 film, which I would say is fantastic. It is, despite being like super old, it is aged very well. Like the atmosphere remains remains like spooky. Nosferatu, whenever he shows up, he's incredibly creepy, very horrific. Uh, he 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 has a very powerful on-screen presence, and if you're watching this late at night, it doesn't matter. It it doesn't matter if it's a silent film. You're going to feel spooked. Uh, yeah. I just love Nosferatu, and I it really is just it captures the magic of timeless storytelling because again, even though this is from 1922, like the story still remains great to this day. Have you ever
That's
heard of
great.
Nosferatu, Josh?
It's crazy thinking about this being a over 100-year-old movie. But no, I've actually not seen the original. I've seen the Robert Eggers remake, which I'll be honest, I was not too much of a fan of.
That's
It
fair.
wasn't terrible, but it wasn't. I don't know. I didn't personally enjoy it. I think Robert Eggers is a little overrated. but that's a discussion for another day, perhaps. But I have not seen the original Nosferatu. I have seen plenty of clips from it, and honestly, this picture you've got pulled up on screen right now of him on the boat, which I know from like the books and stuff, that's the Demeter, and the movie, The Last Voyage of the Demeter.
Hmm.
Um, kind of honestly for the 20s, kind of scary, man. I like you know, it would be by today's standards probably not nearly as frightening, but you know, I can totally imagine being like a young person in the 1920s going to like before World War II, seeing this guy on the screen and being freaked out by him.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. I was like, I'm very impressed when you watch it. And just for transparency's sake, you can watch this for free on YouTube right now. It's like very accessible because it's so old.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm very impressed by the amount of editing during this time frame. It's just again, it's miraculous what they were able to accomplish back then. And yeah, that's what I would just say to keep an eye out for.
I do know not so much about the story, but obviously the character of Nosferatu is taken, you know, it's inspired by Count Dracula, which is a
Yes.
book by Bram Stoker. And I remember hearing a story about how this movie, when it was made, you know, they couldn't get the rights to
Hmm.
Dracula,
They couldn't.
so they just changed, they just basically made the movie but renamed him Nosferatu. And the wife of Bram Stoker,
She was
who had
pissed.
like he had passed away, and she was on like what's the word I'm looking
A
for? Like
crusade against the
killing
film.
spree. Yeah, crusade against the film, trying to get it like destroyed. Like apparently, and she even won a few of the battles and managed
Yeah,
to like get it taken down and destroyed some of the like film.
all
And it
throughout
was
Germany. Yeah,
actually, yeah, it was only like because like some of the like some people that had already received copies of it to play in the theater, like that's where the preserved versions of it come from, I believe. I'm not 100% up to date on the facts of that, but that's what I remember hearing.
yeah. Henry in the chat is saying Nosferatu is so iconic that it was actually recommended to me by my lectures at uni or lecturers at uni. I'm probably going to give it a watch at some point soon. Yes, you should, Henry. Like if there's any film on here that you should check out, it's at least Nosferatu because again, it is the most uh it is the most accessible of any of the films on this list because it's so old. There's no point in anyone trying to sell it. Sure, there's the reboot there's Robert Eggers reboot, but hey, like that's it's made by it's made for modern standards. So that's obviously the difference. Billy Donuts,
Now, before we
Spooky
move on,
Donuts in the
before
chat.
we move on, I just wanted to say, I don't know about you, Jack, but do you remember all like back in like 2015 to 2017? There was this talk about them making a dark universe, like almost like
Yes.
the Marvel movies, but with
Yeah,
classic movie
it
monsters.
was
Do you
supposed to
remember this?
start off with Tom Cruise's The Mummy film.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, not like they tried to go for basically Marvel, like make it the Mummy like a superhero, which they should not have done. But when I heard about that, I was excited, and I was so disappointed when it all fell through. I don't know about you though. I was hyped because I love the classic movie monsters. I love the creature from the Black Lagoon, Dracula, Wolfman,
Yeah.
Frankenstein, obviously. I love all that.
Yeah, yeah, like I have like fond memories of Black Hammer Films, which is the studio I believe that made a bunch of monster films back in the day. A lot of them different quality, of course, but yeah, they still have their unique charm. Uh and you guys could probably check out all of those for a good Halloween film. Or a good cheesy Halloween film that is.
Yeah, this yeah, by today's standards, you're not going to be on the edge of your seat with fright, most likely.
Yeah, but I would say like you would still be on the edge of your seat with Nosferatu because this is a creepy film, man. Like it still holds up. Yeah. With that being said, this is Nosferatu 1922. Yeah, check it out. It's for free on YouTube. Yeah. Moving on to number nine. Is a recommendation from Josh, and it is Event Horizon. What can you tell us about this film, Josh?
Yes. So, okay, I know we don't want to spoil anything, so I'll just give you the plot synopsis and like a little bit of detail. So, it takes place in the not too distant future. Space travel is more readily accessible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's space truckers, space pirates, that kind of stuff. And basically, what happens is the Event Horizon is the name of a research vessel that was experimenting with black holes to create faster than light travel.
Mm.
The ship was testing, disappeared, and then showed up and the story is about the rescue team sent to investigate what happened on the event horizon. So that's what the movie is about. But this is more of a cosmic horror film. Lessons about like man's blind ambition for progress in science takes him into spaces and worlds that are beyond comprehension that and think we experience things we weren't meant to find or see.
Yeah, I remember watching this film years ago. My memories on it are hazy, but I still remember the twist, and I'm just like, and it's once you get to it, it's a little traumatic, I'd say, like to say the least. Uh, b
Yes,
b
I know. It's a very like, and again, no spoilers here, but this is more of a body horror movie.
hmm
You're gonna see blood, you're gonna see guts. It's some disturbing imagery. This is not the kind of like nightmare before Christmas, like sit down and watch a Hocus Pocus with your kids type Halloween movie.
Yeah, absolutely not. And I was looking up the Wikipedia page on it before the stream, and apparently the film takes place in 2047. Like, do you think we'll be able to reach the feats accomplished in this film by then, Josh?
Probably not, but I will say the kind of like they never show the spaceships in these movies. They never show them like leaving Earth's orbit. You're just kind of like already in space. And it's a lot like Alien, where they don't have, it's not like Star Wars where they press a button or pull a switch and then they boom zoom off into space. It's like they fly to Jupiter or Saturn's rings, and it takes them like 3 years to get there, so they have to go into cryo sleep. It's very it it's definitely in terms of like the sci-fi technology closer to the modern day than Star Wars or Star Trek.
hmm
But yeah,
Yeah.
it's and one of like again one of the little details that I like. Again, I'm trying not to get too deep into spoilers here, but like it's supposed to be kind of like creepy and they make the event horizon the ship like its interior it's like a blend between a spaceship like science like NASA and a cathedral. Like there's all these like extravagant archways, but instead of being made of stone they're made of steel. And like the warp drive looks like something out, I can't really explain it, but it looks like something out of a nightmare. It's
hmm
really cool.
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely the most memorable thing about the film. Just i- like you're drawn in initially by the intrigue of this abandoned ship. Like and you're wondering what direction it's going to go, and it delivers in the least expected in the least expected way possible, which is definitely what gives the film a cult following. But that being said, a lot of people are kind of divided on this film. Like I don't think it really has like a good rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Like, why do you think that is?
Yeah, yeah, that's one of the things. Like, I don't know. You often find that a lot of like a film's credibility and how people feel about it, it kind of depends on the time and place it came out. And I remember that. I remember I saw a how I even found out about this movie was I watched a red letter, and they were kind of trashing it. They were like, "Oh, it's fine. It's kind of stupid though." And like, I'm not gonna come out here and say it's a masterpiece, all right?
Yeah.
But it's a fun movie. Like, if you like horror, if you like mystery, it's not bad by any stretch of the imagination. And it's got a pretty solid star power. It's got Lawrence Fishburne is in it. It's got Sam Neill, who you would probably know as Dr. Alan Grant from Jurassic Park.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, underrated actor.
yeah. There's definitely the thing that comes to mind is there's definitely like, because this is a 90s movie, and they do have like the 90s black guy where he's like, come and get it, motherfucker. It's like over the top. Like, me, some people get offended by that, but me personally, it's fun. Like, I enjoy it. Like, just sit down, turn your brain off, and watch the movie. Have a good time.
Yeah, yeah, there is a comedic relief black guy, and it's not Lawrence Fishburne who plays the main guy. It's just like
Right.
another guy. I think the pilot or
And I
something.
remember, yeah, yeah, the black comedic relief character. He's played by like a famous. He was famous for something else. I can't remember if he was like a musician or a like basketball player or something. But it was like, oh, so and so's in the movie, and he plays the goofy, like comic relief black guy. But
Hmm.
so, like, I remember that was something Red Letter Media was like, oh, we didn't like that. And I'm like, oh, come on, guys, it's fine. But trust me, it's a fun movie. This is a good, like, sit down with your buddies and buckle up and get ready for like a fun, scary space adventure.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see. Next film we have up is Oddity. Now, this is a recent film that came out last year. I saw this with my dad. It's an indie Irish film. The main premise is this lady up here is a blind knick-knack seller who sells cursed items at her shop. Her twins,
Oh,
yeah, her twin sister died in a freak accident, and even though she's blind, she still has a knack for smelling bullshit. So she goes to her widowing husband's estate, like castle in the middle of the woods, who is already remarried since then, rather quickly, I should say. And
ah,
she's investigating what exactly happened to her sister, and she brings with her. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. This. Oh yeah, you guys can. This little golem down here, this wooden golem, and does a lo- and it does certain things later in the film, but I'll keep it vague. Irish Hellraiser, not quite. She does use a. There are like a number of knickknacks in the film, which I find compelling. But yeah. The the story is pretty straightforward, but it does it well. Like, and that's why I appreciate. It's just a nice, straightforward horror film. Uh, what you see is what you get. Yeah, I think it's if you guys go into it expecting just a nice, straightforward horror film, that's what you're gonna get.
this sounds like a fun movie. I have not seen this, but I love your like whatever your description of its plot. I'm enjoying, and so like so the cursed items, they're actually cursed. It's not like a trick, right?
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
is
it's not
that
a
too
trick.
blurry of a question?
It
Okay,
there are like legitimate supernatural elements. I don't think that's a spoiler.
okay, because I don't like, and I don't want you to like spoil too much, but I'll just say I personally I love movies especially movies, even if they're not scary movies, but movies that have like whether it's advanced technology or something supernatural, where whatever it is, it's not vague. You know, it's not just, okay, I've got a magic wand and I can do whatever I want with it. Like it, whatever it is, has rules. And that kind of sounds like she almost
Yes.
uses these things she sells like a tool to help in her investigation. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah. And these aren't just like the items in the film, to be clear, aren't Deus Ex Machinas. That they aren't like a get out of jail free card by any means. Like there are rules, established rules in how she uses them. So, so yeah, like I
Okay, man.
yeah, and I was interested in how they worked and how they worked. Uh, yeah, it's a compelling film.
So let me ask, because we were just, a minute ago, we were talking about Nosferatu, and in that movie, they spoke in a very proper but old English dialect, and it was hard to understand at times.
Hmm.
And I can't tell if like her dress is kind of making me go like, does this take place in a older time period? And since it's in Ireland, like what are their accents like?
I actually think it takes place during the modern day, but
Okay.
yeah, I think they use phones, but they don't come up as frequently. Actually, it may not be modern day. It might be 90s, I guess, or early 2000s. There might be. I don't think they're iPhones necessarily, but they might be like just cell phones, just like yeah, just old cell phones.
Okay. Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah, yeah. That's Oddity. Came out last year. Highly recommend it. Next film we have on the list is Talk to Me. So this is also a recent film, which is pretty good, suggested by Josh.
Yeah, this movie came out I think like 23 or 22, not too long ago. And I remember seeing the trailer for it and thinking this looks like an actually scary movie. And I will say this, like the plot, so essentially is these kids, they're partiers, they're having a good time, and they find this ancient artifact. Like one of the kids, they just have, it's not really explained, but they just have this thing. And I won't say how or in what way, but it essentially allows them to communicate with the dead. And our main character lost her mom tragically to suicide, and it's not explained why. And so she is kind of on a quest to find out, Mom, why'd you do it? And that leads down a dark path of experimenting. There's basically like, they're like, okay, we have this artifact, kind of like what you were talking about with Oddity. There's this
Hmm.
artifact, but it has rules. You can't do this for this long. And, the temptation for this girl is very great. And that's basically the brief plot synopsis. I won't get into the ending or anything like that, but it's a fun movie because it kind of starts out like a party. Like it's like they use this ancient demonic artifact like a party trick, and honestly, like the way they use it, it doesn't even seem that dangerous, but it ends up becoming so.
Yeah, yeah. Something I appreciate about this film was like the characters are dumb and naive in a realistic way because you can totally like if this artifact, if this item, this supernatural item existed in real life, like and it was like mass distributed, you know that people on TikTok would or just like people using social media would try to use it to get famous.
Yeah, yeah, that you're right. I totally forgot about that. That's something they do is they basically live stream all of their sessions, uh, and it does kind of play, like it does kind of play toward the realism of it, where we're sort of introduced into this world, into this artifact through the eyes of the main character. And of course, initially, she's very shocked and afraid. But in the context, it's almost like her buddies are pulling a prank on her.
Hmm.
So once the sort of initial event subsides, she does have this almost like support system there to ensure her that like like it's nothing to be afraid of, and then they basically just start partying
Yeah.
with demons and stuff.
Yeah, that reminds me, like sort of like a Event Horizon. This also has like a pretty nasty depiction of hell. Uh,
Yes.
I don't think that's a spoiler to say, but there is a really gruesome depiction of hell, and just like makes you it makes your skin crawl just watching it.
Yes. And again, this movie is not for people with weak stomachs. And maybe you know what I'm talking about, Jack, but there's one scene in particular where they basically have to restrain someone from harming themselves.
Hmm.
And the kind of harm that the person was trying to inflict on themselves. Like I was watching this with a buddy, and we both were like, "Oh!" Like we were having like visceral, like we were like, "Oh my god!" Like that's so nasty. Reactions to what was going on. I won't say what it is, but believe me, you'll know it when you see it.
Yeah. But without revealing too much, guys, I would just say that if you enjoyed The Exorcist, you will enjoy this. It's a fun spin on supernatural possession stories.
Yes.
Yeah. But before we move on, I just want to point out that the directors, yeah, Danny and Michael, let's see, how do you put it? The Philippou brothers, like, they're YouTubers, which I find pretty cool. I'm not sure if you've heard of them before, but they did very impressive tech YouTube that show like a bunch of technical skill. Like they did years ago they did this Harry Potter versus Star Wars where they mimic the effects of like a lightsaber and like wands from Harry Potter. Then they just had like like a super realistic fight. It's just like really funny.
Yeah, I remember those. I remember those.
Yeah. Yeah, great directors. They actually had another film, horror film come out this year called Bring Her Back, which is also a possession film. I'm not sure if you saw that. Well, actually, I think you told me, Josh, that you're going to see it soon.
Yeah, I have a buddy that lives out in West Virginia, and we basically both have VR headsets. And there's this app called Big Screen where you
Ooh.
can watch movies in a virtual reality theater. So we do that on the weekends. It's super
Oh,
fun. So that's
wow.
on our list. Yeah, I highly I highly recommend it. You get an Oculus Quest 2 for like $100, and then just watch movies in VR with like someone long distance. It's super fun.
Okay. Yeah, sounds fun. I don't have a VR headset, but hey, if you do, give that a shot. Because yeah, yeah, like a theater experience, even if it's virtual, like is very unique compared to like watching on your TV.
Yeah, it's super fun. You make an avatar, and they have all different sorts of like theater settings. There's like grand theater, almost like an opera, regular theater, a theater in space, theater underwater. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun.
All right. Yeah, that's Talk to Me down. Next up, we have Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Uh, this is,
Yeah, dude, this is a good one.
oh, you've seen it before?
I love this movie.
Yeah, so this is a comedy for those of you who don't know. It's a think the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but the hillbilly characters are actually really cool guys. They're like like nice guys, but the teenagers are complete dickheads, like they're idiots. They think that they're out to kill them, the hillbilly main characters. And And as a result, the teenagers just get themselves accidentally killed all throughout the film, and it's just a big misunderstanding. And that's the joke.
Yeah, yeah. The teenagers think they're being attacked by these guys, but it's all just like misunderstand. And I'll give a specific example. This isn't too much of a spoiler, but it's like one of the guys, he's cutting into a tree log and he hits a beehive, and then the bees start swarming him. So he starts like running away, and he's wildly swinging the chainsaw over his head at the bees. And then the kids see him like running at them, like swinging a chainsaw, and they're like, "Holy crap!" And they like run off. They're scared. It's stuff like that throughout the whole movie. To like it adds to the confusion. It's definitely satire. It's a fun movie. Honestly, it's very lighthearted. It's a
Yeah.
fun, lighthearted movie.
Yeah, but it is gory. I will say that
Yes,
it's as gory as any slasher film you'll see, but it's funny.
yes, it's very good. And it actually has. It's funny. You know who Stanley Tudyk is, Jack?
Who was he? What was
He's
he
one of
in?
the he's one of the hillbillies. And he's in a ton of stuff. So he's one of these mocap guys. So he's number 4 from the new Superman. He's K2SO from Rogue
Oh,
One.
okay.
He does a lot of voiceover work. So he's a good actor. I really like him a lot, and he's in this.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Check it out. Next up is Lake Mugo or Lake Mungo. Like I've seen this
Mu-
before. Like it's really good.
Lake Mungo, yeah.
Oh,
So Lake
Mungo,
Mungo,
my mistake.
yeah. Um, it's kind of funny because the name is very strange, but honestly, this is a very like somber movie because it's basically uh the story of a girl who dies, and whether or not her spirit is lingering in the house that she grew up in with her family. But it's told in the style of a documentary. Like it's fictional, but this would seem like any other ghost story documentary you would see online. You know what I mean? And there's all these like story element. It's played extremely serious, and it it honestly, like, if you were to show this movie to somebody and not tell them it was a movie, like you're just say, "Oh, I have this documentary about like this strange goings on in Australia." I know this takes place in Australia, which
Hmm.
honestly kind of adds like a whole nother layer to it because everyone it's like Cohen brothers casted this movie. Everyone looks normal. Like nobody in this movie looks like an actor. It looks like
Mm.
real life. So if you were to just like show this to a random person, be like, "Hey, here's a ghost documentary," I guarantee they would fall for it.
Yeah. I think the genre is called found footage. Like the Blair Witch
Yes.
Project falls into that. And found footage films for me can be kind of hit or miss because Paranormal Activity, like that's a found footage franchise. I find it dumb personally, but Lake Mungo, like this is an actual like this is a found footage film done extremely well because there actually is like a coherent narrative involved, and the ending, I'm not going to spoil it, but it makes you reassess everything like it's the scariest moment in the film for me because it makes you reassess everything you've seen from the very beginning, and I love films that do that.
Yes, it's one of those movies where like you watch it the second time and you're like, "Holy crap, how did I not see that?" You know?
Yeah,
It's very good like that.
yeah, yeah, it's it's a great film, but it's also very depressing when you dig in deep.
Yes, and that's the thing is like if you're trying to watch if you're like, "Oh, I want to watch a horror movie with jump scares and spooky monsters and stuff," this is not the movie for you. This is like a slow burn um like like murder documentary almost. If you're
Hmm.
into Dateline NBC, this is the show for you or movie for you.
Yeah. Yeah,
Very
like
good.
a yeah, yeah, so that's Lake Mungo. Great found footage film with lots of twists and turns. It's gonna it's gonna leave your head spinning. Yeah. Next film is Audition. This is a Japanese film uh from 1999 directed by Takeshi Miike. Some of you might have heard of him. Uh, I forget off the top of my head which films he's done, but he's a very well known director in Japan. Audition, it doesn't feature like a scary monster, like in the form of like vampires, werewolves, or anything like that, but does feature uh the scariest monster for young men, women. Uh, so the premise behind this is that there's a widowing father, and he misses his wife. Like he's lonely despite having a son. He's lonely. He wants an intimate connection with a woman, and his film producer friend comes up with an idea of staging an audition for a wife, like for an act for an actress to play a wife, and
Oh,
yeah, and he essentially has him posed as another fellow producer or director, and he has them spend one-on-one time with whoever with all the actresses or the main the main one he picks. And it sounds like a romantic comedy somewhat, right? Because
yeah.
once he picks someone, now he has to they go on a couple dates, have a they grow a connection, but then he has to figure out, oh man, I've been lying to her the entire time. Like, what do I say? And yeah, and then it like builds up to that. And again, that by itself is would be like your standard romantic comedy. But what makes this a horror movie is that the person he ends up falling for is an insane, crazy bitch who who you'll see why in the entire film. Once you actually see the film, it's gory. She's crazy, and but the horror doesn't necessarily come in the form of the gore. It comes in the form of how even if a lady or woman auditions for you directly, you see her like she's completely at your whim. Uh, she you'd still probably fall for a violent serial killer. Like you'd still be won over by them and not even know it.
See, I was when you were describing this, I was thinking that maybe it was the father that was going to be like the bad guy. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like, okay, this guy, he's, trying to find a new wife, and he gets kind of on a high horse, and he's like picking between women, and it comes down to like the last three or something, and then they figure out it's not a movie, and he reacts poorly. That's what I was thinking, but it's the girl who goes crazy. I kind of like that. I definitely want to watch this.
Yeah, when it came out,
Is it in Japanese?
it's in Japanese subs, yeah,
Okay.
subtitles. But yeah, like when it came out, like a lot of people were, yeah, Tank Idiot, first time catching a Kino stream. Yeah, thanks for joining us, Tank Idiot. But yeah, when this first came out, critics were like really angry about it. They said this is misogynistic. How can the woman be the bad guy? This guy, the dad character was manipulating women. Ugh. But yeah, that's just like stupid because obviously uh there is a danger for men in in the dating market just as much as there is for women in the dating market. And I like how the film touches upon that topic.
Oh yeah, and it's kind of interesting because that's an angle on the kind of relationship like thriller that you don't often see. Typically, it's like, oh, girl meets guy, guy so charming, guy, oh, he's my dream guy. Oh, wait, it's what's his name, Gray, and I'm like in a sex dungeon now. Or oh, he's a serial killer, or he's an assassin. There's like some uh, there's some dark aspect to the guy. It kind of turns that on his head, where basically it's the man starts in a position of power. He's getting these girls to audition because they think they're going to be in a movie, and he
Hmm.
realizes the whole relationship was transactional based on that. He
Yeah.
essentially got duped by her. I
Hmm.
like that.
Yeah. Really good movie. Highly recommend it. Next up, we have The Conjuring. Now, I'm a bit embarrassed to say I've never seen a single Conjuring film. I know that this is like a huge franchise, and I think the last film released this year. So, what can you tell me about, Josh?
Yeah, so I've not seen the newest Conjuring movie, and honestly, like the Annabelle movies, they all take place in this like Conjuring universe, and 9 times out of 10, these movies are not good. But the first Conjuring, the one that got the ball rolling, is super enjoyable. It came out in like 2013, I believe, and it is just like a classic ghost story, so to speak, but with a
Hmm.
modern, but very kind of like modern horror. And what it is it follows, it's loosely based on a true story, like real life demon hunters named Ed and Lorraine Warren. This movie takes place in the 70s, and there's a family. They move into a new house, and some strange goings on start going on, and nothing, no one can fix it, and it eventually results in Ed and Lorraine Warren showing up to exorcise the house, and then ghost shenanigans ensue.
Mm. It sounds a bit like Poltergeist, if you've ever seen that.
Yes, yes, that's exactly. Well, it's not exactly the same. Poltergeist is like mini ghost. This is one ghost, but well, that's not true. There's multiple ghosts in this movie, but they're all like I don't want to spoil it, but there's a story behind it. Basically, what it is uncovering the mystery of like how and why are these ghosts here? What happened on this property that caused the like spirits to linger
Mm.
here in a dark
Okay.
way? And you find out, and it's good. It's good. There's I love this movie. There's so many. It's very clever in how it scares people. I don't want to spoil any of it because it's it's so unique in what actually scares you. Because you think of like, okay, I've got to make a scary movie. Somebody turns a corner, and and there's like a demon there and it jumps at you and whatnot. There's there's so there's so much visual storytelling in this movie. I love it for that reason. And this isn't,
Okay.
necessarily a spoiler, but like there's things where like this is very early on in the movie, so it's not even a spoiler, but it's uh like the little girls are playing Marco Polo, and then except obviously, like, they don't, their version of it is clap. You say the person who is blindfolded says clap, and then the other people clap to indicate where they are, and then they have to go and try and find them. And your mind can kind of fill in the blanks about what happens, but it's very like, it's almost like Jaws or Jurassic Park, where when the supernatural things start to happen, there's all these like little indicators that show something is coming, and it's really fun. There's like it goes into almost like how what it's like to be a ghost, like how ghosts can kind of move around and stuff. It was a very unique take on like that kind of stuff. So it's a fun movie in that way.
All right. Well, yeah, you convinced me to check it out, so I'll watch it when I can.
Sweet.
Yeah. Moving on to my last recommendation. Is Hour of the Wolf, directed by Ingmar Bergman. So which some of you may recognize as the director of The Seventh Seal, Wild Strawberries, Persona. Like, yeah, so like very fantastic films. Yeah, Ingmar Bergman is considered to be was considered to be one of the greatest directors to ever live because of his ability to uh e- evoke like complex human emotions in his film, and this is no exception because this film essentially is all about an artist going insane on a deserted island, and like and his wife has to suffer because of it.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's kind of interesting.
yeah.
Um,
He
I'm not familiar with the director, but or even like half the movies you just
oh,
listed, but
yeah,
this
yeah.
sounds like an interesting take.
Yeah,
Story.
yeah. Uh, Typically he does a lot of psychological thriller or dramas. This is his only horror film in all of his filmography. It's from the 1960s, but it's great. It does a great job of building up dread, and there's like a lot of memorable supporting characters that are. It's unclear if they're like actual people or figments of his imagination of all of his insecurities uh and repressed desires. But yeah, very creepy. I and we were mentioning like Robert Eggers before. I believe this and a 1929 film called The Lighthouse Keepers were the inspiration for his 2019 film, The Lighthouse, which is excellent. I would say that's my favorite film from his. So if you want a film that captures the same aesthetic or feelings as The Lighthouse 2019, check this out. Like it's awesome.
Sweet. Sounds like I love a good psychological thriller. You know what I mean? Those are the like slow burns. You got to be in the mood for them, but I love a good slow burn.
Yeah. Yeah. Moving on to the last film, which is a recommendation from you, Josh. John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yes. So I know, like, you know, being in the movie review business as you are, Jack, everyone likes to have their hot take. They're like, "Oh, here's my esoteric movie that nobody's ever heard of as my favorite movie ever." But the truth is, good things are good and things are popular for a reason, and The Thing is no exception to that. This to me is the best horror movie of all time. And I'll tell you
Absolutely.
exactly why. Because there's no women in this movie. Nah, I'm kidding. But that is true. This is one of like, I think I saw a thing once. There's only like 11 movies in all of existence that don't have any women in them whatsoever, and this is one of them. And it has to do with the setting. This movie takes place in the 80s. Uh, it it Sorry, I just got a text. It
They're
takes
good.
place in the 80s, and it's in an Arctic research facility, you know, out in the middle of the snowy landscape of Antarctica. And it's a bunch of researchers, and they're all guys. It's a big cast of characters. It's like 13 to 15 people. I can't quite remember. And what it is they uh, uncover what can only be described as a thing. And basically, the synopsis is, you know, without like spoiling it, is a ancient alien crash landed on Earth thousands of years ago before humans were even around. And what this alien is it's called the Thing. They refer to it as the Thing because it's a shapeshifter. It switches forms. It can imitate people, and it can even imitate. It grows limbs that it doesn't need. It mutates and violently thrashes and it's really disgusting the way it changes. It's not what you think of like a X-Men character or something. They just kind of like become another person. This is like a gross, like it's like cysts popping and flesh bubbling as it turns into a different thing. and it blends all these themes. It's cosmic horror because you don't know what it is or where it's from. It's mystery because you don't know who is a thing, who like is, can we trust this person? It can clearly, it can imitate living people, you know, can we trust each other? And it's the crew figuring out, how do we tell which one of us is the thing and who isn't? And you know, they're stranded in the Arctic during a blizzard. They can't go anywhere, and they can't call for help. It's a super fun, actiony, disgusting body horror thriller horror movie.
Yeah,
It's the best.
I absolutely agree. It's I would say, yeah, it's one of the greatest films ever made, hands down. But ironically, when it came out, and you probably know about this already, Josh, but it was despised because critics didn't like how disgusting it was. They thought it was too gross. They wanted it to be more like E.T., which came out around the same time. They wanted the alien to be super cuddly, not like horrific, not a monster that kills people. And all I gotta say is, thank God, uh, we people gain sense like somewhere down the line, because now it's recognized as being as one of the greatest horror films to ever exist.
Yeah, and you know, we were talking. Your very first recommendation of the day was Nosferatu, and that got us talking about classic horror movies. It's funny because this is actually based off a book. I
Hmm.
believe the name of the book is The Thing from Another World, um, and the book is a lot like the John Carpenter movie. You know,
Yeah.
it's repulsive. The alien is horrific, and there's no definite form to it. But they actually made a movie version of it in the 50s, and they basically turned the thing into Frankenstein. They got rid of the whole like shape shifting aspect of it, the whole like who is a thing and who isn't aspect, and that movie. And this is one of those movies that nowadays is touted as like a classic remake of a 1950s movie that's
Yeah.
better than the original, and I
Yeah,
completely agree.
it completely surpasses the original in every way, the original film in every way. And the main reason it surpasses it is because of the group interactions. Uh, every character, e- no matter the screen time, the amount of screen time they receive, has room to breathe. They it the fi- Based on how the film is presented, it could very well be any of the cast outside McCready.
Yes.
Kurt Russell's character. Uh, but even then, like, there's a point where or even where you go, is it? Wait, is he actually? And he's the main character. Like, it. That's how good it does at making you skeptical and doubtful of everyone in the film. And I would say that's
Yeah.
and we're probably gonna like discuss this film more at length when like in like a month or two, like for like a separate show we're doing. But I would say like the reason the prequel failed or isn't as fondly remembered is because uh the cast in that film isn't as fleshed out as the cast in this film.
Yes, they're the characters leave a lot to be wanted, and also I don't want to give away too much because you know Jack and I, a little teaser for you, the audience, but we're working on a series um, where we're basically going to be rewriting old movies, and it's like, here's a movie that kind of flopped but had potential. Here's what we would do if we were in the writers' room. And we're going to be using AI to create visual aids. It's going to be a ton of fun. I'm super excited. And the Thing prequel is our that came out in 2011 with Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Uh, that is going to be the movie that we're rewriting. And I again don't want to give too much of mine away, but I think another reason this movie failed is it was basically just the exact same thing over again.
Mm.
So I'm gonna take a little bit out of James Cameron's book and do a little bit of a genre shift.
Yeah,
Little bit of a shift in tone.
yeah, that sounds appropriate.
Yeah.
But yeah, with that being said, that was the last recommendation we had. Yeah, so do you have any closing thoughts, Josh, on this upcoming Halloween? Any other films you want to see in a theater, to celebrate the October season?
I will say here's two honorable mentions: Oculus and Caveat. Oculus is a movie about a haunted mirror, very good, very fun. And Caveat is extremely boring, but I'll be honest. And maybe have you seen Caveat, Jack?
No, I haven't, but it's from the same director as Oddity.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh, well, that gets me excited for Oddity. But here's the thing. So, uh, Caveat is a very, very slow movie, but that's how they get you. I don't want to like spoil too much, but like I literally have never been more scared in a movie in my life,
Wow.
except for maybe Hereditary, because the whole movie is so boring and nothing happens. And then when it does, you're caught so off guard. Me and my buddy, we both we're like shit, like oh my god, you know, like it was so scary. So Caveat and Oculus are honorable mentions. But before we go, I did want to say I'm glad I'm glad you didn't tell me any of yours beforehand because I was kind of excited to like learn like half of the movies you had talked about I didn't even know. But like Oddity sounds good. What was the one after that? I want you to send me the list. I have a memory of a goldfish, but I
All
liked
right.
all of what you said that I hadn't seen sounded fun.
Yeah. But so to like recap all of our recommendations for those joining now, Nosferatu from 1922, I should say. Uh, and then there was Event Horizon, and then there was Oddity, and then there was, let's see. Oh, shoot, I'm already forgetting. Da-da-da-da. Yeah. Yeah, so first
No
one,
worries.
Nosferatu 1922, Event Horizon, Oddity, Talk to Me, Tucker and Dale versus Evil, Lank Mungo, Audition, The
Audition.
Conjuring, Hour of the Wolf, and John Carpenter's A Thing. If you guys want a fun Halloween, check out those movies. You can find several of them for free online. I'm not going to tell you where because then they might not be free anymore. But like some of them are on YouTube, so I'd say check there, and some of them are on Internet Archive, so I'd say check there too.
Sweet.
Yep, but yeah, I guess the only horror film I'm looking forward to, it's not really even really horror. It's the new Emma Stone movie coming out later this month, like towards the end of the month, uh, called Begonia from Yorgos Lanthimos, like one of my favorite directors working right now.
I've not even heard of this.
Yeah. Apparently, like if you shave your head, you can watch it for free in in a certain area.
Like even if you're a guy?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like it doesn't matter if you shave your head, you can watch it for free.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm just hoping that the people who do that don't think it's shit afterwards.
Well, what's funny is it's like yeah, yeah, like well, I guess if you have your own razor, but I was gonna say like you go to the barber and pay $15 to get a haircut, have them shave your head, so you can avoid paying for a $15 ticket.
Yeah, that would suck. But yeah, yeah, this has been a fun stream. And if you guys have any recommendations of your own, feel free to leave a comment down below. And if there are other just films in general you want us to check out and talk about, feel free. And again, leave a comment down below. And that's the stream. Any closing thoughts, Josh?
Maybe you know, we've done Halloween. We should do a Thanksgiving movie, like top 10 Thanksgiving movies, top 10 Christmas movies. Because honestly, there's some good Thanksgiving movies out there. They're subtle, you know, because they're almost identical to Christmas
Yeah,
movies, but like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, that's
Yeah,
a
that's a
Thanksgiving Day
Thanksgiving
movie.
movie.
Yeah, we'll have to do that in November.
Yeah, I agree. Uh, I feel as though we should like almost argue, like make arguments as to why a certain film is a Thanksgiving movie or why it's best experienced in Thanksgiving.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and hot take over here, hot take. Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire is technically a Thanksgiving movie.
Ooh, I kind of want to ask why, but I want to save that for the Thanksgiving
Yeah,
stream.
we will save it for then.
All right. But yeah, that's the stream. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Have a good one.